to the ground. You're dragging me. It's constantly. No, I won't make a sound. I love the pain. It sets me free. It's wrong, I can't make right. I love the bird below you, said myself that this is the last time. It's wrong, I can't make right. Slipping off in the moonlight when I knew the truth. I had myself for you. On the ground, I know the truth. I know the truth. Oh, no. I'm shaking now, 'cause you say those things, then shut me out. Got no clue what you have found. I'm a rose in thorns, but you cut me down. It's wrong, I can't make right. I love the bird below you, said myself that this is the last time. It's wrong, I can't make right. Slipping off in the moonlight when I knew the truth. I had myself for you. I know the truth. Oh, no. I know the truth. I had myself for you. Let it down. Let it down. Let it down. Sometimes. Let it These feelings inside, butterflies fly with me tonight. These feelings inside, butterflies fly with me tonight.
I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe. There's a reason I can feel my heart stop beating, and the air gets tough just breathing. I'm alone, but I'm still feeling like someone's with me. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me, like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there.
It was warm upstairs yesterday.
I just shut them off because they run on. I was here on Saturday and they kept running.
A couple of tenants were telling me, "Hey, it's warm in my office." I'm like, "If you don't tell us, we don't know."
Right. And I believe this is run by the one in the conference room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's weird.
Huh.
We have to.
Which works for my office, right? So.
You need to snake it down and yeah. On the radio.
Welcome to the show, Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. This is going to be a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
You know why it's going to be a fun show? because it blows apart the little lies that you've been told by all the motivational gurus.
Yes.
You know how you get motivated? You start doing something.
You start, yeah.
You got to do something to get motivated.
Well, I mean, I'm starting to put my power team together, though, Jason.
Yeah, that's...
that starting?
I've got my logo.
Yeah, I got my logo. It took me 5 weeks.
And I'm working on my business checks.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And
important.
the logo on the
Yeah,
business
soon the
checks.
checks will come in. I have to figure out if I'm going to order them from the bank or if I find someone online to do it. That's really important.
None of this sounds like making money in real estate to
I'm
me.
not. I mean, at some point, I'll get my website done in the next 2 months, and then we'll get ready to go.
Maybe business cards. Not sure. Should they be the nice plastic ones?
Should I be CEO or should I be founder or what should I be on there? I think I'm the CEO.
Even though you're the only executive.
OEO, the only executive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Can I be the OEO, the only executive? You know, we started a new LLC for this beach house, and I thought maybe that's the one.
You're gonna put down.
Maybe that's the one I'll put CEO on. And I don't think anybody knows what that acronym is that I put on there, by the way, which is pretty funny.
That's good too.
Hey, what's that? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out one day.
Well, taking action is going to solve a lot of problems.
I would almost say taking action solves every problem.
Yeah. Well, you create more problems by taking action, but that's what you get paid for.
Right.
Right.
Have better problems. So
Yeah,
Jordan Peterson says, have better
absolutely.
problems.
Better set of problems.
Better set of problems. Tim Grover says the same thing. Taking action, I love this quote. Heard this from a couple of my guys. Most of your problems can be solved in 6 months. The big ones might be 12.
Yeah.
Everything in your life can be solved in about 6 months. The really big one's 12. Most of y'all out there don't have like really big problems.
No.
So you can solve everything in about 6 months. But you can't solve it by watching another motivational video, reading the stuff on Instagram. You've got to do something.
Yeah. And I understand where people are when they're there. When I talk to them, I'm like, I understand where you're at. And there's probably nothing I can do to help you.
Yeah.
Right? I totally get that, you're in your mind, you've got this vision of how it's supposed to work because someone sold you on it and you're going to get all this stuff together and, that, get your power team together, get your business card, get your website, register on the Google site so it shows up on the map and all. That's all, boy, that's all filler
That's right.
for a 997 class. That's all that is.
You know what I think? I think the other thing too is I think a lot of it has to do with rejection.
Yeah. Well,
Because when you start having to make real business decisions and start having to make offers and start having to meet with lenders and getting like stuff really together to go, then you start running headlong into rejection. And I think that's the biggest fear.
yeah, but I'll say, as get a bigger set of problems, a better set of problems, you're going to get a better set of fears.
Oh, there you go.
Like that totally, who cares?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're with those guys or whatever. Yeah, I don't care whatever you think. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? I have other stress that I have to deal with.
Right,
It has
right.
nothing to do with your opinion.
That's right.
Right? Man, I wish I had the luxury to care about what you think that Mr. Texas Real Estate is doing.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I wish
isn't
I
it?
had that luxury.
Yeah, I wish I had the time to think about other people.
And if there was, and if any point in our organization, Jason, that we actually have someone on staff who deals with that, we have a problem.
Yeah, because we're not doing enough other
Right.
stuff.
I mean, that's the Tesla model. We don't have a PR department. Let them say whatever they want to say. We just keep going out there and proving them all wrong.
Do you remember when Elon found out that they had a Facebook page? And he said, it looks lame. Someone delete it. It did. It was terrible.
And it was gone.
And it was gone in like 10 minutes. So somebody up there and said, we have a Facebook page? And he looked at it like, this is terrible.
Get rid of it.
Apple didn't have social media for the longest time.
Right. I mean, we do our stuff, and people don't like it. We understand. You can have an opinion. We don't care. And other people do. And they come on and they make millions of dollars with us, right?
Well, here's the deal. I can't take all of y'all. I can't.
Right.
I can't take all of you guys in our mastermind.
Yeah.
I can't spend all this time with all of you guys explaining the economic models and all the other stuff that we're tinkering with over here. I can't sit down I just can't.
Right.
So the good thing is that there are a lot of folks that don't know what we're doing, have no idea, talk a little trash. It's totally fine.
Yep.
It's great because I don't have room for you anyway. Truth be told. That's...
You know, we're looking to bring in. I think we've got some things happening, and you'll be really, really happy when this fall when you kind of see some announcements from us. But you know, the big thing is I think we can take in 8 mastermind members a month now. I think we have the bandwidth for that. We've got the system set up. We've moved everyone over to our secret website, right? So there's all mastermind membership and a ton of documents up there. So that's a lot cleaner. But again, for us. You know, great example. We said, here's the goal. We want to make 250 people real estate millionaires in the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. And did we wait till our Kajabi site was up? Did we wait till our Facebook page was up? Did we even wait for our web? We didn't even have a website, for God's sakes, for a year and a half, right?
We had a Google Drive, and we were like, welcome to Mastermind. Thank you for your check. Yeah. Here's a link to a Google Drive. And they're like, really? I'm like, start reading.
That's it.
And you got these, we have a 13-step process. Here's the 13 steps. Get through them as fast as you can. Well, I want to make an offer now. No,
get through the 13.
But I'm really successful and I make piles of, I don't care. There's a process here. You're going to do it. Yep. And then they do it and they go, okay, now we're ready. I'm like, now we're off to the races. Yeah.
So again, we follow our advice every day. Right? And that's just kind of how we built the mastermind. We're like, hey, we need to get a mastermind. We need to get 250 people. Great. How much do you think it's going to cost? I don't know, $7,500. That's what we said. And then we said, over time, we'll double the price.
Yeah.
And every year we'll go up a little bit. We'll run some specials, but every year we'll go up. And, okay, we did it. And we didn't have any collateral.
We had no marketing material.
No marketing material, no collateral. We just got on the radio and we picked some low-hanging fruit. And next thing you know, 12 people were in.
Yeah.
Right? Of those 12, 10 are still with us 2 years later.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
And the other 2 guys left because they already bought everything.
They bought all the deals they could buy, yeah.
And they were like, all right, we're done for now. Yep. We'll call you guys later. Yep. Like, okay.
But we took action. We just did it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that I hate it. We're going to come back from this break here and we'll talk a little bit more about it. I hate when gurus conflate marketing to real estate or building a product or shipping a product, right? It's not a fair comparison. Anyway, this is Robert and Jason with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Guys, in the month of through Labor Day, we have a special for our mastermind. We're going to give you $2,500 off this year, $2,500 off next year. So that's a $5,000 savings. You have through the end of Labor Day weekend to sign up. We've got some people we've talked to in the last 2 months. I'll reach back out to you personally over the next few days. I'll give you a text if you're watching or listening. Get you in. If you're interested, text Mastermind at 281-401-9008. Text Mastermind to 281-401-9008. All right, we'll be back. I got to remember to say that at every break.
Yeah.
I just keep forgetting.
We don't even sell our own stuff that well.
We gotta.
Where's
the sales team?
Where's the sales? You know, one of my favorite. Go ahead and bring us back in. Welcome back, Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. You know, one of my favorite interviews was when we brought Zia in.
Yeah.
And he's walking around the office, and he goes, "What do you guys do again?" Okay. And what do you need me to do? Uh-huh. And then he says, wait a minute. And you could tell I was like processing it to say it in like an interview kind of way. He's like, you mean to tell me you 2 clowns get millions and millions of dollars from people to invest in real estate? And he just didn't believe it. He's looking around. He's like, you guys are wearing Hawaiian shirts and shorts. I'm like, yeah, because walking these properties is 900 degrees. Like, we're going to go look at one today. It's going to be a sweat fest. I'm guarantee it, right? So anyway, I just think it's...
Even after we hired him, he was still...
I said, what
are we doing?
What is... Show me how all these numbers and everything work. What exactly? And I'm like, you just need to go out and see the portfolio. He really hadn't been out to see the portfolio yet, right? So it's just kind of unbelievable. But it's everything we do. It's like just do it.
Start.
And by start, when you're like brand new, that means reading some stuff, right? But now don't be stuck in that forever. Like, what's the thing that you say, Rob? Like, don't spend more than $500.
Yeah,
for the
you don't
first
want to
6
spend
months?
like $500-600 in the first 6 months. You want to, and what you want to do is you want to dedicate about 20 hours a week of your free time educating yourself. And the first book you're going to get is The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller. You're going to go on Bigger Pockets. You're going to find out they're not really newbie friendly on there, but that's okay. Read
Yeah.
it, figure out here's what you have to do in that first 6 months, Jason. You have to figure out the acronyms and you have to figure out the math.
Yes.
Right? Like every industry has their own acronyms. There's a whole bunch of French words thrown in, and they have their own special math. You have to do that in that first 6 months. You have to understand how we really calculate a cap rate, what loan to value really is, what DTI is. You got to know all those acronyms. You got to know all the math. And once you understand that math, that whole world opens up for you. And then after 6 months, you say, oh, okay, well, I can look at these margins. I don't like the margins on wholesaling. Flipping could be good, but man, there's a lot of risk on that side. Buying a whole looks a little bit better. Heck, notes is kind of what I do, right? I'm a $200,000 a year engineer guy, and I've got some money, and I can move them in a Roth, and I can start a little fund, and I can get my friends together, and we can go buy $1 million worth of notes and make 10% on it a year, right? So there's you got to figure out where you're going to go. So in that first 6 months, that's really, really important. We're going to start Real Estate 101 again. We're going to call it the 5 ways to make money in real estate. We're going to go through it and let people start picking their own path because I look out over the horizon and, man, there's not a lot going on in this town. There's a lot of drink fest.
Yeah, there's
You can get drunk almost every week here.
every single night. You can go to a real
someone.
estate event and have way too much to drink, right?
But there's no one up on stage saying, hey, dumbass,
yeah,
that's not for you.
yeah,
Right? Or, hey, if you're gonna go work for free, then do this.
yeah,
Right? If you're gonna work on the come, then be a loan officer.
right,
Be a real estate agent, not a wholesaler.
right.
And we're gonna have those classes again starting in September. 5 ways to make money in real estate. And we're not the first time. I'm sure you've heard that many, many times. Where it's not. There's nothing new
There's nothing new that we teach.
in this class. We're just gonna really make you understand how you fit into those 5 ways.
The only thing that we do, I think that we actually teach, is how to raise private money. That money class, no one teaches that. And then once in a blue moon, I do a class on marketing. And I guarantee you those are nothing like you've seen before. But how real estate actually works, it's all out there.
Yeah.
Like we're not. This is honestly why we get a little bored of the radio show.
Oh,
Because I can't get on here and go, well, 9 out of 10 millionaires
real estate.
own real estate, and I'm just like, I can't do it. The average American is going to be eating dog food in retirement. I'm like, I'm not. We all know those stats. Like I'm not going to sit here and do that. The reality is that you got to start taking some action. And I go to these real estate events, and the ones I've been to recently, I'm walking around the room and I'm like, man, all you're doing is we're just sitting here drinking on a vendor's tab and nobody's really learning anything. And then you look around the room and you realize that half the people in the room are vendors and the other third are friends of some of the vendors. So you're like, how many real estate investors are actually here, right? And, it's kind of interesting. We were meeting with one of our, I don't want to say who because I didn't. Yeah. We were meeting some folks and, people are canceling holiday parties now and they're doing, it's like it's 2020 all over again, right? So now I'm looking at all these events these big events, right? And I'm like, man, is it still kind of a COVID issue, right?
I think it is. And I wouldn't be doing. I think we made a decision last week to simulcast everything we do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna mount a few cameras and get some projectors and make sure that all is up and running by September 1st, and everything September 1st will be able to watch it on a webinar. And if there's a paid event, you still got to pay to watch it on a webinar. Period.
Yeah.
We also got another thing coming out. September's a big month for it. We're going to have a lot of announcements. So, but back to the whole point of it, there's nothing new in real estate, right? There's just repackaging. And, in my life, we've gone from like crappy little elves on red wrapping paper for Christmas to this massive, elaborate gift wrapping process, right? And it's the same thing in real estate. It's still wholesale, arbitrage, fix and flip, buy and hold, produce a note, figure out tax breaks.
Yeah,
It's nothing. It's just been repackaged and repackaged and repackaged. And it gets confusing to folks. So I understand why there's a little hesitation. That's why I'm saying you got to take that 6 months. Right? Got to take that 6 months. And I'm not talking about building websites and logos and stuff like that. You've got to educate yourself. Once you figure out a little bit of the path you want to go down that path. Do it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be a buy and hold. Great. Call up agents. Start making offers. Let's go. Right? Close on it. Be prepared. Talk to a loan officer.
Here's the biggest mistake I see. I meet a lot of real estate investors at these events. They're like, I've been in real estate 25 years, and I do this, I do that, I do this. And in the back of my mind, I can already tell what their balance sheet looks like. Because my first question is, what are you doing in this room? Like, if you've been in this business for 25 years, now if you own a mortgage company, all that's fine, right? But if you quote a real estate investor and you're here, I'm like, what are you doing?
What is going on? Yep.
There's this joke, and I can't remember the guy's name. He wrote a great book on kind of the debauchery that takes place at hedge funds, right?
Yeah.
He lives here in the Woodlands now. And one of the things he said is he's like, if I get your resume for a position and you've been in this industry for more than 10 years and you're not driving a Porsche, we're not having a conversation.
Right.
And I thought it's incredibly arrogant, but what a great comment, right? Because you make so much money in that industry. It's like, no, he's not saying you actually have to drive a Porsche, right? I mean, who cares? But when I see this stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, what have you been doing for 25 years? And that's exactly what they've been doing. I do some rents, I do some buy and hold, I do some self-storage, I do some, what's the hot thing right now? The assisted living nonsense.
Oh, that crap, yeah.
Now I'm a builder, now I'm a this, now I'm a that.
Builders.
And I look at their portfolio and
We're
I'm like,
well beyond adding on. Okay, great.
No, all right, sounds good, whatever. So then I sit there and I look at their portfolio and I'm like, dude, you've been doing this 25 years. You'd be a lot richer if you just went to single family and just kept buying.
Yes.
I mean, can you imagine if you bought 5 houses a year for 25 years? Like, that's not even really working. That's 125 houses. What if you bought 10? That's 250. I mean, crazy, crazy numbers. 20 is 500 over 25 years. I mean, you'd be really wealthy. Because here's the other thing. If you had bought them over that long time period, I guarantee you'd own stuff in the Heights, in Spring Branch, and like all these areas of town. Now these homes are $400,000 or $500,000. You'd have some real wealth.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be sitting here at the back of the room
Nope.
bragging to a bunch of people how you've been in the business 25 years. It's like, come on, man.
Hey, this is Robert and Jason with World Renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. We'll be back. Yeah, it's a little too much. I'll have one of the guys with Oz is a really good tile guy.
All right.
Yep. So we'll try and get him out there once everything is set. Make that the last thing. So maybe Thursday or Friday, he can probably go down there on himself. As long as the tiles are already there, he can probably go down there and take care of it.
Yeah, I have the tile in the cat.
Grout and the mastic. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, next time you're Home Depot running guy, you just get white on white is fine. Yep. I think that guy can knock that out in a day. In, $300. Yep. Yeah, I'll do it towards the end of the week, yeah. Yeah, so that's all right. Oz will do it. I already talked to Oz. He said he'll do it. That's an FU quote. Yes, that is. Yep. Not a problem. Yeah, that's good. All right. We should start buying stuff today, right? Yeah, whatever is 68 cents. 68 cents a square foot, the cheapies. Yeah, the cheapy ones, yep. They're 12 by 12. All right, thanks. Bye. Yeah, I just saved 10 grand.
Oh. Tile at
You don't.
South
He's
Loop.
got to understand what an FU quote is, right?
Yeah. Here's
Oh
the
yeah,
number.
yeah. I'll do that. I'll do
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
here's a number. Oh,
Yeah. You're like, never mind.
You don't want to do it.
Welcome to the show, Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. So, here's the problem: is folks will get in, they start getting a little motivated, they start producing some action,
Yep.
and then they go, "Oh, I really want buy and holds because I want the financial freedom of owning real estate." Right? Sounds great. And then they're like, "Well, but the market's too tough, so now I'm going to get into flipping, then I'm going to get into wholesaling." Then the problem is that little bouncing around. You never get good at solving the problems for what you wanted.
The 3 years.
It takes 3 years
It's
to
a
get good.
3-year rule. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to get good at flipping, it takes about 3 years. You want to get good at wholesaling, it takes about 3 years. You want to get good at any of this stuff takes about 3 years.
Right. And if you're moving through the process, it's 12 years before you really get into your financial goals.
Correct.
That's the problem.
So when there's a guy on stage,
That was my problem. I believe the guy's on stage.
yeah,
I lost 5 years of this nonsense because I believe the guy on stage.
right. But if you're listening to the guy on stage or the guy at the back of the room who sounds really impressive because he's using a bunch of vocabulary you don't understand yet, and he's been in this business 25 years, and he's not driving a Porsche or a Lambo,
Right.
And he says stuff like, "Let me put it this way: I've never met you've met one. I've never met a successful investor that does single family and then goes to multifamily and then buys office buildings and then buys
Yeah, I know.
like one. I know zero that do it at volume.
Yeah.
We're doing a couple of these things. Well, the next thing is actually going to be this next phase with the Real Estate Investment Center. But I know no other guys that are successful doing that. Now they talk like they are, and don't get me wrong, they got decent little incomes. But if they had just stuck with multifamily, stuck with single family, stuck with offices, they would have an absolute empire. I'll give you a great example. So across the street from, actually we're surrounded by Regis office spaces here. I believe he is a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken. And he's stuck with office space for years and years. And I'm sure he's got other holdings now, right? But here's a guy who just stuck with it and kept going and going and going
Yep.
and going, and bang, he's a billionaire, right? That's how you do it big. A lot of these guys stay small because they're like, but I got this deal, but now I'm going to get into, my favorite is now I'm going to get into assisted living, or now I'm going to get into this, or now I'm going to get into that. And it doesn't make any sense at all. I don't get it.
Nope.
I don't know any bit. Papa John's doesn't all of a sudden go, whew, we got our 50th Papa John's. Time to open a barbecue joint.
Yeah, we're going to open a Thai place. Papa John's Thai food.
Yeah, Papa John's Thai.
No, and that is the problem when you go to the promoter rooms,
Yeah.
right? And again, what we're trying to do in September and moving forward is just straight education,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, of course, we have the mastermind. Of course, we'll have our little membership program, but it's straight education. When you go to those rooms and you're like, hey, we got really good guys in our mastermind, and they're a little, they kind of hang their head a little bit when you squeeze them. It's like, yeah, I joined that club, and yeah, I did tax liens, and that was a lot of money, and I'm like, oh,
I did some owner finance, and it's not going as well as I thought it was, and yeah, all that craziness, right?
and you're like, okay, so now where are you at? It's like, well, now we're where we wish we were to 5 years ago.
Right.
It's like, man, we really wish we were here earlier. This makes a lot of sense, and yeah, those guys have picked up 943, so that's 16, 17, and I think they did another duplex or so, 18. Yeah, certain. They picked up 20 doors in less than 1 year in our mastermind.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, this is exactly what we needed. We don't mess around and like do it this way, do it that way, figure it out. Talk to this guy, talk to that guy. Absolutely perfect, guys.
Yeah.
They're crushing it, right? Because they started. They just came in and they started. They weren't waiting around for the, what kind of collateral do you have for the mastermind? Hey, you know what? You're not good for the mastermind.
Yeah.
That's been my. What kind of education, and is there books and videos? I'm like, yeah,
No, this is not for you.
Not for you. We're good.
Yeah, we don't have homework assignments.
Yeah, I do. No homework assignment.
You know what your homework assignment is? Sign this contract. We're buying houses.
Yes.
People still don't believe us, and they're like, you guys bring deals in? I'm like, we bring deals in all the time. Because
Yeah.
that's the point.
and buy the house.
If you're
Get the
spending
asset.
more time staring at a PowerPoint and listening to some dude in a blue suit at the front of the room, and instead of buying real estate, you're in the wrong room.
Yep.
You should be up there. The only time there should be somebody up there explaining something is a deal. Everything else is a complete waste of time.
Yep.
And I think that's where people go completely wrong in this business. Like, oh, Jay, I'm going to another class on, the intricacies of whatever. And I'm like, my favorite is when someone's like, well, Jason, what kind of carpet do you guys use? And what kind of tile? I have no idea. I have no clue. You know why? That's never been my job in real estate. I hire the contractor. I'm like, hey, man, we need some brown stuff or some white stuff here on the ground.
I think they're just trying to make a conversation.
I know they are. But I'm like.
And I've been there too,
We all have. But when you look back, let's put it this way. We're explaining to you guys mistakes we've made in the past.
Yes.
Because I actually went to a class on different types of carpet one time.
Oh, that's fun.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing? This is nonsense. I mean, it was great information. Presenter was awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't care about any of where's the class on how to buy more real estate?
Well, that's the thing, right? That's one of the things we do in our mastermind is we say, all right, there's really 4 areas we can help you with. Mm-hmm. If you're the guy who just wants to buy, follow the plan, buy 10, have 5 free and clear, and have a better retirement because you have an extra $7,000 a month on top of your pension, on top of your 401k, on top of Social Security, you're going to meet $20,000 a month. That's all you want? Great. We got a path. Hey, you want to go a little bigger? Let's go to 25 doors. Excellent. We got a path for you there. Hey, you want to start your own little management company or an acquisition company? You're trying to get to 100 doors? Great. We can help you there. Hey, you want to go big? You want to get apartments? You want to do syndications? We can help you there, right? And that's one of the things, just sort of sorting and shifting. It's like, which box do you want to be in right now? Because you can always move. Mm-hmm. But tell me what box we're going to go in because then we're going to plan your thing.
Yeah.
And when these guys come to us and say, yeah, we'd like a little bit more. We'd like to get – those guys who already bought 19 doors, their goal was like really we want to get like 25 to 30 doors. Mm-hmm. They're almost done.
Yeah.
They're almost done.
We have folks that have joined, just a handful of them that join. They burn through their goals so fast in the first 12 to 18 months. And then they're like, hey, guys, it's cool to see y'all, but we're out. We hit our number. We're done. We're like, all right, go, man. Take off. Hey. Yep. Glad it worked out for you. We'll call you back for case study night.
Yeah, I mean, again, someone came in who was timid. And he's now going to have 10 rental doors and 2 Airbnbs, and it's like 1 year.
Less than a year,
1
right?
year.
Just burning through it.
And then again, if that's the number, great. He's probably want to go for 25, and he's going to get 15 free and clear, and in the next 10 years, and he's going to produce another $20,000 a month. That's fantastic. Other guys, we can see them already moving there. Hey, we want our own little management company. We want to be able to sit down at the desk, look at our assets, watch the money coming in, have a bookkeeper. We're helping those. And then there's those who are going really, really big. And we've got 3 of those guys who are just like, I want lots of doors and I want a massive empire. And we're like, great.
We're all in the empire. We got a little group of empire building going on over here.
One guy in our building, 2 guys in our building, right?
Yeah,
And
2 guys in our building.
Folks up in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And then we've been talking to this group out of Florida. It's like, yeah, we can help you with that.
Yeah, trust me. There is nobody else in the country you can talk to.
Yeah,
because there's not many of us that are just trying to build these little empires,
not
right?
many, yeah. And the guys that do either stop and move on to something else, and that's a big thing in our industry. People just constantly move on. But again, if that's you, if you're just looking for the 10 house, cool retirement, a little bit better, another $7,000 a month, great. If you're going to go 25 houses, you're thinking, hey, I want 12 to 15,000 out of the real estate, that's fantastic. You want to start your own little small portfolio and manage that, like up to 100 doors? Great, let's go. And if you want to go really, really big, then you're with the right group. So if any of that is of any interest to you, give us a shout at 281-401-9008. Text MASTERMIND, 281-401-9008. And remember, this month, running a special. It's $2,500 off the first year, $2,500 off the second year, 281-401-9008. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert and Jason with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, again, let me just go on to this last segment here. Our mastermind is having a special. We've extended it through Labor Day. We're going to give you $5,000 total off in the first 2 years. So $2,500 off year one, meaning it's no longer $12,500. It's $10,000 for the first year. And then $2,500 off the second year, so meaning it's no longer $7,500 for year two, it's $5,000 for year two. So that's a very significant savings over the first 2 years. Remember what you need. You're going to need 700 FICO, you're going to need six figures, and you're going to need capital to deploy. And you're ready to go. You're ready to take action. And we can help you and move as fast as you're willing to go. We can pace it out for you. We come up with a plan. But we've got guys who've been in our group who are already made $1 million with us. Like, we are already created millionaires.
Yeah,
And I can tell you they weren't waiting around for the website to be built or when's the DVD out and all that stuff. They just jumped in, bought, and now they're refilling up the bucket, and they're moving.
They jumped in and said, hey, what deals you guys got? I'm like, what, did you go through the 13 steps?
Yes.
And I said, yes, we did. Part of it's a meeting with me and Rob. So then we meet at the end, and we go, okay, now we're ready to go.
Yep.
So let's go. Here's some stuff. What do you guys want? Literally, when people come in the office, we even have them right now. You come in the office, like, we got deals right now.
Right? What do you want to buy?
What do you want to buy, man?
I got
What
a
do you think?
duplex. I got a 3.
I got this. I got that.
Yeah.
In fact, I just saw a triplex go zipping through our mastermind group right now on WhatsApp. I'm like, I'll take it. So I think they're going to sell it to somebody else in the group, which is fine. But it's like, okay, now we're ready to go.
Right.
It's not like we just leave you to your own, devices, right? We just go, hey, all right,
No.
here's the next step. Here's a contract.
Yep.
All right, we'll explain to you how the contract works. This is what's going to happen next. Now, there is some hand-holding that takes place, right? But it's hand-holding in the action.
Oh, I mean, we've had people in our building said, hey, I joined this group and this group, and I wish I heard about you
Yeah.
2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he said, because they didn't do anything for me. I'm like, yeah, I know. We understand. We understand. They tried to get you to invest in some of their syndications, and if that wasn't what was happening, then yeah, how are you going to go build your own portfolio?
Yeah, last night we did my deal night there.
Yeah.
Jason's property hunt, and we
11
sent out
people.
11
from the mastermind,
people.
so, yep, they're
We
ready to
had
go.
how many did we sell? 2 or 3 last
We
night.
sold 2, and then we have one more pop up this morning. They want to take a look at.
So we'll probably sell the 3 or 4 that we have already under contract, and then you were like, hey, the last 10 minutes here. Why don't you jump on HAR and see what you can find? So last night we put together 4 offers. I think we got 1 contract coming in this morning.
Yeah, we had one overnight. Yep.
So I just couldn't start or be a part of any group that wasn't all about taking action.
Yeah.
Because here's what happens. You get that first deal and you go, oh, it's not as scary. You're going to have a different set of problems. But then you start to realize mentally that all of these problems can be solved.
Yep.
They can be solved in a reasonable amount of time.
On the back channel.
Yeah. Yeah, they can all be solved in a reasonable amount of time. But then you start to think, oh, well, if that's the first one, let me do the second one. By the time you do your third deal, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so painfully simple.
Right.
You start looking around and you go, and you think you're some kind of genius, right? But then you realize you're like, this is not really all that hard.
There's a low bar for success here. I'll tell you one story from someone from Mastermind. I got a call like a Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. He said, Robert, my worst fears have been realized. I'm like, what happened? He's like, there's a flood in my bathroom and the plumber and this was running and da-da-da. I'm like, all right, well, that sounds pretty bad. I was like, do me a favor, just turn your phone on, take a video of it, and send me the video.
Oh, no, this is funny.
He sends it back. I'm like, okay, go get 3 towels, shut the water off, and tell that guy he's got to put a piece of plywood in there and paint it, and that's the fix.
Oh, that's funny.
He's like, that's it? I'm like, that's it.
There's not much. Let it
Stop
dry out.
Let it dry out.
There's not that much water in there.
We're good to go. And he's like, really? I'm like, that's it. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I'm like, yeah, now that's not a fear to have.
Yeah.
That was not your biggest fear. We've got bigger fears now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Let's move on to the bigger fears. And this one we took care of in about 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. He's like, if the contractor's coming over, he's like, good, well, tell him this, this, and this, and this is what you want. Tell him to throw you $300 credit.
Yeah.
He called me the next day. He's like, yeah, I got everything. I'm like, great.
Done.
Good. Let tenants move in. Section 8 inspection.
Your worst fears have been solved.
There you go. 5 minutes.
There's that old saying, it's like, okay, let's think about the worst thing that could happen.
Right.
And then let's say it's going to happen. So now what do we do?
Right.
We've actually I had this conversation with a private lender and this is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. I really don't care. One of my first private lenders, he still lends to us today. I've been with him for 8-9 years now. And he said, "Hey, Jason, have you ever considered bankruptcy?" And I'm like, "Bob, what are you talking about? Like, we're crushing it over here. Like we're crushing it." It was all that nonsense, right? And I said, we're doing great. We're flipping. We're paying your notes. What are you talking about? And he said, "Yeah, most people don't." And I thought, oh, that's brilliant. So you always plan for the worst, right? So plan for what? Oh my gosh, what happens? The whole world ends. You lose all your real estate. Your dog runs away. Your wife takes the kids. Your truck blows up. I mean, think of all the worst things. Okay, now how do we build a plan to get out of it? Because now's the time to build that sort of plan, right? You're doing pretty good. I mean, everything's, aside from COVID and everything's actually not bad. So, all right, now the worst thing has happened. Now what?
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, this is totally solvable. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be fun, but it's solvable.
It'll be major league uncomfortable.
Oh, uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
But here's what I've noticed. If that day ever comes, I'm like, yeah, but I know how to build this back 10 times faster and probably bigger.
Yep.
So
same thing. Yep.
yeah, it's like, so then you start to realize, and that takes you a couple of years in business. That took me a couple of years in business to figure out, where I was like, oh, if this all comes crumbling apart, I could bring it all back.
Well, I mean, that's going to be the difference between a successful entrepreneur and everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like I can start again without all those burdens.
Yes.
Without bad partners, without bringing debt to the table, but everyone else is like, oh, he already declared bankruptcy, he's out of it again. It's like, good.
That's exactly what.
Yeah.
Yeah. BK is a tool.
Yeah.
Like they used to beat Trump up over it. I'm like, no, that's a legal tool that you've got to use sometimes.
Absolutely.
What was the stat I read? Something like your typical business owner entrepreneur will file BK 3 times in their career.
Yep.
I told that to a friend of mine. She's like, "What?" I said, "You got to prepare. You don't know.
Oh, for sure.
It could be a huge lawsuit.
Yep.
I mean, it could be something completely unrelated to your business." So, in any case, I don't want to scare everybody, but
Well, and that's really small business world. Real estate, there's always the dirt. In real estate, there's always the dirt.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So last time on our mastermind, we're running a special this month. It's going to be $2,500 off the first year, $2,500 off the second year. If you're interested in becoming a real estate millionaire in the next few years and you want to start working with a group that is all action-based, this is it. I mean, we deal with all the scary stuff for you. We're there. We'll handhold you. We'll walk you through it. We'll analyze a video on Sunday morning at 9:23 a.m. for you, and we'll make this stuff, as systematic as it can be, and get you started. And so you're going to text the word mastermind to 281-401-9008. For those of you who have already done that in the past few weeks, I'm going to text you back this next 24 hours, let you know the special's still on. We'd love to see you in. We've got a lot of good things coming up in September. It's time to start moving. We have deals every month. That's not a problem. So if you're interested and you're moving and maybe you're not moving fast enough, or you've hit some walls with lenders and things like that, it's time to join the mastermind. Text mastermind at 281-401-9008. You can go to our website, mrtxre.com. MR is in Mr., TX is in Texas, RE is in real estate, mrtxre.com. Check us out, the mastermind, and we will see you. This will be airing. Oh, so you'll be leaving the Super Investor Club listening to this.
Oh, there we go.
So, all right. Hey, guys, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us every night. We'll be back again next night. Jason, Robert, take care.
That's what we should do when they're leaving. Have some kind